Solving quadratics using the quadratic formula. This is a quadratic formula. X equals negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Of course, the general form for a quadratic is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. And that's where this formula derived from. So we come to this question. I'm just listing A, B, C for you, and we're just going to plug in. So the quadratic formula is straightforward, plugging in and doing your arithmetics, right? So, it'll be negative x equals negative 4 plus or minus square root of b squared, which is 4 squared minus 4 times a, which is 2, times c, which is negative 5, all over 2a, so that's 2 times 2, which equals negative 4 plus or minus square root of 4 squared is 16. That negative will make that negative plus, and that's 4 times 2 is 8 times 5 is 40. So therefore, all over 4, which equals negative 4 plus or minus square root of 56 all over 4. I'm going to change this into a mixed radical. So negative 4 plus or minus square root of 56 could be expressed as the perfect square 4 times 14 all over 4, which equals negative 4 plus or minus square root of 4 is 2, and 14 just stays under the square root all over 4. Now, since all this numbers 4 and 2 and 4, you could reduce them by 2. So reduce everything by 2, and your final answer will be x equals negative 2 plus or minus square root of 14 all over 2. And that's your final answer for that one. We'll move to this one here. This, of course, it's a rational expression, but we could simplify this and make it into a quadratic. To simplify this, I'm going to multiply all of this by the common denominator, which is x and x minus 1. Now, when you multiply the x and x minus 1, you only multiply it to the top of these here, and you have to multiply it into everything, into here, and there. So when you multiply this into here, the x will cancel with this x, and you're left with 3x minus 1. So we do this basically to get rid of the fractions right away. Plus this 3 here, if we multiply this to this top right here, the x minus 1s will cancel, and you're left with x equals, if you multiply this to the 1, you're just going to get everything. There's nothing in the bottom to reduce with. So that's what you get. Now we start simplifying. 3x minus 3 plus 3x equals x squared minus x. I'm going to move everything to one side, equate it to 0. So 0 equals x squared. This is 6x right here. If I move to the other side, it becomes minus 6x, so which makes it minus 7x, because negative x minus 6x will give me negative 7x. And then if I move the negative 3 to the other side, it becomes plus 3. And therefore now, this is my equation, and I'm going to use the quadratic formula since this doesn't factor. Two numbers multiply to 3 and give me negative 7. And usually that's what we use the quadratic formula for, is when we cannot factor. So again, I'm going to list my A, B, and C. A is negative 7. Sorry, A is 1. I'm ahead of myself. B is negative 7, and C is 3. Now we just plug in, sorry, that's negative 7 there. X equals negative B, which was that negative 7 makes it positive 7 plus or minus negative 7 squared minus 4 times 1 times 3, that's A and C, all over 2A, which is 2 times 1. This will give me 7 plus or minus square root of 49 minus 12 all over 2, which is 7 plus or minus 49 minus 12 will be square root of 737 over 2. And that's as far as we could get. We cannot change the 39 into a mixed radical. So this is your final answer in exact values. If you needed to answer in decimal, you just use your calculator. You go 7 plus square root of 37 equals, and then divided by 2, and that's your first answer. And then you go 7 minus square root of 37 equals, and then divided by 2, and that will give you the second answer. But we leave in our answers in exact values, so we're finished.